Hey guys, this video is going to be about Fernando, who is, I would describe him as kind of the thought leader of thought leaders. If you follow a bunch of tech people on Twitter, they probably have smaller accounts that they sort of copy most of their thoughts from. And then those smaller accounts are probably like following Fernando. He would be like very high up on the hierarchy of original thoughts online. And so if you don't follow him, follow people that follow him. And so you should just follow him to get closer to the source. He went really viral for this sci-fi short story, and also I really enjoy a lot of his blogs. He has a very beautiful website. You should check it out.
So professional.
I know.
One, wait, fuck. One, two.
Sweet, welcome. I don't know why I'm holding this because we
I
attached
have
the mic
this thing.
to
Yes,
Fernando.
correct.
We're at Marcha Monday interviewing Fernando. For those that don't know, he's the Wolf Guy on Twitter.
That's
famous blog writer. And
Famous.
for those that don't know, I mainly wanted to interview Fernando because he's very famous in the tight-knit tech Twitter teapot world. I actually heard this story only this morning somehow, but you wrote like a sci-fi short story, which you had a Penguin publisher reach out to you about. Do you want to tell the story of how that played out?
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, like, how far do you want to go? So, like, the initial idea, the initial version, I wrote it in 2022.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy with it. And then actually, it's interesting. I sat down to read Solaris, the Stanislav Lem novel, and I read the first paragraph, and I just got the whole idea for the story, and I wrote it down.
Wait, so was your book similar to that book?
It's kind of similar. From like I hadn't read the book yet. I only read one paragraph, but I had seen the movie,
Okay.
so I knew some of it. And
you
then
were like, I get this. I could do better.
yeah, I read one paragraph and said, no, I know where this is going. I can do better than this. And then it kind of sat there. I was like, I'm not happy with it. And then earlier in 2025, I read Confessions of a Mask, the Mishima novel. And similarly, I read this one passage and I was like, oh, fuck, I have the idea for the new version of the story.
Yeah,
I just wrote it down. And I tried to publish it to like a normal sci-fi magazine. But they rejected it, so...
Well, they were wrong, so...
Yes, that's true.
I mostly know you as like, I really like, in particular, you wrote a really awesome blog post on ADHD, which I found very helpful. Like,
Yes.
It was actually, I've read a lot of stuff about ADHD and a lot of like self-help stuff, but I felt like it was so actionable. In particular, I still use Todoist to like track my tasks, which I find super helpful.
Yeah.
So I more know you as like writing, I guess, it's almost like scientific style research into like day-to-day things. And I see that you also write blogs like doing more, I guess, like, I don't know, it's like you're studying life as you're writing these blog posts. But do you find that writing fiction and then writing these more like analytical posts like cross-contaminate at all? Or because I feel like normally I see people doing one or the other. What makes you like so proficient at both?
Well, I think like for fiction, you don't need to read like all the fiction to know like, oh, this is what good prose looks like. But like the content of the fiction, it almost all comes from like reading technical stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And like thinking about technical stuff, like math and science and shit.
So you'll have ideas about fiction while sitting there trying to solve.
I think it's mostly like the technical concepts. They kind of pollinate the fictional ideas. They inform what kinds of stories you can tell, and what like images you see, I suppose.
Do you think that's why sci-fi so often ends up becoming true? Because like the people sitting there thinking about the real problems are then writing the sci-fi?
I think there's an effect of like people trying to make it, make the things they read in science fiction. You know, like the metaverse, like the name metaverse is from a Neil Stephenson novel,
Yeah.
Snow Crash. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Do you specifically try and write about things that you want to be real then?
No, well, I think in a sense yes. I hesitate to say yes because like everything is so dystopian in what I tried. So I feel like I set out to write stuff that's like more kind of hopeful, but then it comes out kind of like utopian. a dystopian seeming. But I think some of it, yes. Like my novella, I think is like which is longer. It's I think of it as pretty utopian, like pretty hopeful. Like this is 90% the future I like to live in, except for the
okay.
horrors.
Do you think the horrors are formed by things that you expect to happen, or things that you're scared of happening?
I think it's a little bit of the two.
Yeah, okay. And then in terms of, I guess, like switching gears a little bit, the like most sci-fi horror that everyone is scared of slash excited about at the moment is like, is AGI coming, and
Yeah.
is it going to enslave us all? So what's your AGI timeline, and do you think it's going to be good or evil?
I don't know. It's hard to answer this like rigorously. Like with AGI timelines, I feel like we still haven't cracked online learning, and that's still like a big blocker. You know, every time a new model comes out, everyone has this honeymoon phase where it's like, oh, it's the most amazing thing ever. Oh my god, Claude 4.8, it's so good.
Yeah.
But then it kind of fades because people start running into the limitations, which are the
Yeah.
same old limitations of maybe the long context is not that good, um, the um, the the lack of online learning. So we need to figure that out first, and I don't know how close we are to that. There's also the kind of mundane doom scenarios where it's like just people decide to just ban all data centers and say like, oh, we can't have AI. That's bad. But assuming we do figure it out, we do seem to be in the world of like alignment being easier, like with LLMs, which are not like mad auto control Shutkowskian reinforcement learning agents. It
Not
seems
yet.
like it's easier to align them. Like if you told anyone um, in like 2010 alignment discourse, like, oh, we're gonna align the AIs by like telling them to be good in English, they would have laughed at you. But now it's like, oh, that kind of is working.
Yeah, I guess so. Are you excited for the next couple of years?
Yes.
Do you think it's going to keep accelerating? Do you think we're going to slow down?
I think it's going to keep accelerating. And I am excited because this is like the first time in my life that there's like something to actually be excited about. Like before AI, the most you could be excited for was like what? 3D printing, solar power, SpaceX. It's like now it's actually real. Like you can see like billionaire BCs like literally losing their minds in public on Twitter. There's people inventing like new forms of schizophrenia from like talking to these powerful. Imagine just going back in time 5 years and saying like, there's like new form of mental illnesses from people talking to the talking machines too much. And it's like, what? What are you? The talking machines?
I think about that a lot. Like, I really like Altered Carbon, and in Altered Carbon, there's like the like I don't know if it's the specific name that they use, but it's like the wireheads. It's like the people who get addicted to the
Yeah.
plug-in dopamine machines, and then there's also the people that sort of like give themselves psychosis by giving themselves too many like mental enhancements.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't believe these two like sci-fi plights are now completely real. Of like, wireheading is actually, you didn't need to plug in, you just need to like stare at a short form video feed, and
Yeah.
it like melts your brain over time. And then we have like the cyber psychosis already, and you don't even need to enhance your brain, you just need to spend too much time talking to one of these like weird machines that are nice to you.
Yeah, it's literally, there's so many ways in which we already live in like a sci-fi novel, and it's fucking sick. I don't care what anyone says. It's the sickest thing ever.
So how much time do you spend talking to the chatbots?
Actually, not much.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of like the opposite of those people who like use ChatGPT, but talk about like, oh, the AI water usage, data center stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of like an AI booster emotionally,
Yeah.
but in practice, I just don't use it that much, that obsessively. Like most of my conversations with Claude are kind of like idle questions that I'm like, oh, I'm curious about this vague thing.
Yeah.
And then when I
okay.
use Claude Code, it's in a pretty limited way, actually.
So what do you mean in a limited way? Because I'm like, I don't know. I've used Claude Code a little bit to like make some websites, and I'd never coded before AI at all.
Yeah.
And then like my usage is I go like, oh, I want to make this thing, and then I like try and tell it to do it, and it's like I don't know, 30% chance of I'll be able to get it working, and sometimes it just like breaks in the middle of nowhere. But then I do see a bit of a spectrum of some people have like 8 Claude Code terminals open,
Yeah.
working on 16 side slot projects. And then other people I know are like, oh no, I just don't really like it that much. I guess where do you sit on the?
I kind of wish I could be the 8 Claude Code psychosis guy. Like I kind of do feel that I'm leaving a lot of money on the table by not using it as much. But yeah, most of my usage of Cloud Code is like for prototypes or like small experiments. I'll just get it to like do the whole thing. But like if I expect to live with some code base for a long time, I do care about like what the code looks like and how it's organized and that kind of thing. And also do just like enjoy the mental problem of thinking how to implement things as code. So when I use Cloud Code, it's mostly like, okay, I've written a bunch of like type signatures. Um, please write the implementation.
Yeah,
for me.
right. So in something I've noticed from a few people is that they feel. I've chatted to a few of my friends, and they almost like don't enjoy software engineering as much because they're like, oh, I don't get to sit there and solve the problems because I may as well have just had AI do it. That's like a sentiment I've noticed from a few people, but I guess you're not experiencing that at all. You still like, I guess, like to sit there and
Well, I
and
feel
write
like
it out.
for personal projects, I'll still like sit there and grind it out and let Cloud Code take care of the parts I don't want to do. But um, I guess professionally, it's different. I guess I've yet to be in a role where I'm actually bottleneck. Like since Cloud Code, like these tools only became mature when I was like fun employed, and now that I'm like doing consulting work, my output is less code. Like
Yeah.
most of, I just don't have to write that much code in the work that I'm doing right now.
So that's something that I've wondered as well as someone who's like, I'm not technical, and then my friends that are technical are like, I'm 10 times more productive because I can write so much code with Claude. And then I'm sitting there and I'm sort of like, well, why aren't you like
A billionaire.
why aren't you
Yeah.
taking on 12 software engineering positions
Yeah.
at once? And so I guess, or like, I don't know, I picture it's like, why aren't you running like a 1-person agency and taking on 1 million clients? It's like, what do you think? Like, why? And I feel like I haven't even met one person doing that. It's like, why do you think, is there like another limiting factor or
Yeah,
something that's
yeah. Like
getting in the way?
I think it's well, like the more as the fraction of work that AI takes, as like the fraction of like execution that AI takes goes to like 100, the rest of your work is just like everything that's not execution, right? So like you end up spending all your time in like decision paralysis, or like, okay, what do I do next? Or like
Yeah.
planning. You're basically like a scrum master for
Yeah.
this like all these like people with anterograde amnesia who are the
Yeah.
agents. But like it actually is hard to think of like, okay, what should I do next? What should I prioritize? Like there's all the other everything else is just kind of bottleneck executive function, time,
Yeah.
mental energy, which is kind of like just fixed by you. It's internal. Like people, I think people have this like perennial idea of like, oh, I'm gonna use the AI as like an executive assistant to boost my productivity. But
Yeah.
I feel like my own experience of trying different approaches to like improve productivity is that the only thing that makes a significant difference for me is like stimulants, right? It's
Yeah.
just like changing brain chemistry.
Yeah.
So all these like little minutiae of that you do outside your brain, it's kind of like it's okay, maybe it boosts you a little bit,
Yeah.
but so yeah, I think if to like we kind of reached the point where to keep up with the to keep the AI systems fed, it's like you actually need to like increase human executive capacity somehow.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's where we get back to the sci-fi. Like, people are going to start having to get brain mods to keep up.
God
with
willing. Yes. I can't wait. I can't wait to have like a monoamine pump in my brain so I can just go like, okay, this region of my brain needs more serotonin. This part needs more dopamine. I just want a control panel for all the neurotransmitters in all the brain areas.
Would you let your agent manage your
No.
control panel to save time?
No. I can't buy my neurochemistry. I'll take suggestions, but I can't.
you won't go no permissions. You'll have to. It'll say,
Yeah,
Fernando, you're
approve.
looking a little bit sleepy. Do you want some more energy? And you'll be like, yes or no.
I could, just automatic melatonin, dopamine, serotonin management.
That's something that I have noticed more recently is that I'm really into music, and I was previously using like music production software, Ableton, which is really common. And then recently I got completely one-shot by this like production software that only runs on the original Game Boy hardware.
Yeah.
And it has like an absurd amount of limitations because the Game Boy hardware is so limited. And the step sequencer is really like for programming in the notes is extremely limited as well. And then I also noticed that it was like outside the AI training data of like how to use this software. Any question I asked would come up like it would just hallucinate entirely. It was impossible. So I had to read this like 300-page manual to learn how it worked. Except it like one-shot me so hard because it was like I felt like I'd been in this world of like you have the cheat codes on and the AI will tell you anything about anything, and then I'd like stumbled into this like area outside the normal knowledge base, and all of a sudden I feel like my brain, like my creativity was like so jacked up, and like because I kept hitting the problems and I had to like force myself to solve them. Do you think that like these like super powerful AI tools will like hinder people's creativity or like feeling like you can just ask it anything? Do you think that like makes some tasks boring or ends up limiting you in other ways?
I think so, and I think also like it's just this line that I like that constraints liberate and liberties constrain, and it's like having like a really quaint, like outdated, like music production system is actually more interesting because you don't have the tyranny of the blank page as much. You have a narrower space to work with. But I think, it's I think there's a lot of people who they just kind of want to check out of thinking, and a lot of the time the AI benefits are kind of insubstantial. Like you can have a conversation with the AI about like you ask it a question, right? Like you have about some technical topic, and throughout you get the feeling that you understand it, but then you end the conversation, and then you realize like, oh, I don't remember any of this. So it's like you had this like feeling of understanding, but the actual price of it is just immaterial and disappears. So I think there's like if you want to learn something, I think reading the textbook and doing the problems is still go-to and based, as they say. And asking the AI and then just kind of like doing nothing with that is unbased.
I find it interesting, like when you look at, I think it was a Veritasium video or Tom Scott or one of those guys that I watched a few years ago, and they were basically talking about how every generation of technology they think it's going to replace teachers, and then it like fails, and really like the most positive indicator of learning something is just like FaceTime with a tutor and working on it. And I find it interesting with AI. It's like the same thing. People thought the internet would replace teaching, and then people thought like interactive and gamification would replace teaching. But then in the end, it's like none of it actually moves the needle as much as having someone sit there and help you with it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we kind of solve education technology. Like you can build like a good edtech platform that with just like spaced repetition, mastery learning, like maybe item response theory for like grading questions and stuff. But like you can solve the technology side of that, but the social aspect of it is a whole other thing. Like first, we have a lot of like status quo bias, and like schools should look like this and not like other things. And then schools are only like partially about teaching. There's like 15 other things that they do. Chiefly being like, socialized daycare so that adults can go to work. So in a sense, solving education is not that important. It doesn't actually move the needle. And what's the other thing? Yeah, like the kind of like human motivational structure and accountability structure is important. Like people like autodidactism is like very rare, and autodidactism at the same intensity as like college or something. It's like for all intents and purposes just does not exist.
Yeah.
So we have the technology to solve education, but we don't have like even before AI, just like classical software. But we don't have the social technology to like make that work in society.
Do you think there's other problems that like at the top of your mind where we have all the tools to fix it, but then there's sort of these societal constraints rather than the problem being hard?
I mean, there's a number of those. I guess it depends on how political you want to get. Stuff like like land value taxes are very rational. We should just do those.
Very base poster of you.
Yeah.
In terms of
Like let's not have rent control.
Yeah.
That's a completely
yeah,
socially constrained, like technologically unconstrained issue.
in terms of like posting online, because I feel like you're a bit of a like not quite a schizo poster, but I definitely feel like you're very
Definitely medicated.
you're you're like unconstrained. It's something that I respect a lot. Is like you're kind of real face, but you're very like unconstrained in what you say. And I think that's something I respect most about you is that you just I feel like you go at things from first principles. It's like I remember saying that like Zetland was a Bugman area,
Yeah.
and then someone said that like, and then I mentioned that you lived there, and then they were like, "Oh, is Fernando a Bugman?" And I was like, "No, he has like some Bugman tendencies, but I feel like he's come at them from first principles
Yeah.
instead of like following the Bugman."
I lean into it. I'm like
And I feel like you've
being a
got-
bugman is actually great.
Yeah.
Like the thing I love about Zetland is like you can call it soulless, which it is, but it's a clean, orderly, neat part of Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, like where I grew up, not to get too like oh, I used to like walk 20 miles in the rain and stuff, but like
I lived in a shoebox.
in Montevideo, the whole city was like a dumpster. It was all covered with graffiti. It was disgusting. It
Yeah.
was disgusting. And Zetland is like everything's new and clean and orderly. I'm like, this is great. Let it be soulless, as long as it's clean.
Yeah. So do you feel do you ever feel scared to share opinions online?
I used to. Well, part of why I made a Twitter was because like I actually used to be like extremely paranoid about like being myself and being open and saying things. Like the reason I made a Twitter was actually like this is like a scheme to like practice being more myself in public and like
Yeah, okay.
saying more things and being hello and just being myself more openly.
Yeah.
And it's like it's actually worked. It's taken like a few years like ramping up, but like if you scroll back and you look at my early tweets, it's all very like my name is Fernando. I like activities and hobbies. And it's like eventually you take a little step and you realize like, oh, you can say things and like you won't be like crushed like a bug.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good.
So
I think it's worked in like a generalized way to like make me a little more like open.
so it's almost like a fake it till you make it. You practiced online, and then do you think that transferred into the real world?
Yeah, I think so.
And so what I find like people often talk about like the risks, like there's a lot of fear around that of like the risks of like posting and you're obviously like putting out all these blog posts and then tweeting and like they're not always the most like mundane opinions. I feel like some of it's pretty controversial. Have you ever faced any like negative externalities from your posting?
No,
or
never.
have you had any positive ones?
I think it's every time I've like kind of like self-censored. Yeah, people are way too paranoid about like posting. It's like it's only ever been good. And like there's so many people who are anonymous because they're like, oh, I need to have OPSEC. And it's like they tweet like the most mundane opinions. Like you're just paranoid.
Yeah.
Show me your face so I can follow you on LinkedIn. There's so many people who just like delete one day and they just disappear off the internet. And I'm like, okay, you're my friend and you're kind of basically dead now and I can't ever find you again. Because you were like, instead of having your real name, you're like anime liker 67 on Twitter and I can't find you again.
So what are you working on at the moment?
Not much. I'm like, what am I doing?
What are you building?
What are you building? Are you getting cracked? I'm doing like one thing I can't talk about is like classified,
Based.
not like government classified, just like like fake classified. I say that it's classified. Um, and then I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, and like I'm actually not productive at the moment because I embarrassingly, ironically, I ran out of Ritalin. I want to
Okay.
like fill the script, and like it had expired a few days before.
I hate when that happens.
I want to like fucking kill myself.
The process,
Oh.
the process of acquiring ADHD medication is surprisingly a
Yeah.
minefield for anyone with executive dysfunction.
Yeah, and it's like insert obvious joke about the ADHD person not being able to like manage their script, whatever. So yeah, it's like then I went to America, now I'm back, and I have an appointment on like Thursday, and my psychiatrist.
How was because you went to San Francisco?
It was great. It was great. There's so many
Yeah?
amazing people in SF. I
Do you
love
feel
everyone.
famous there?
Not super famous, but like it was actually kind of surprising when people were like, "Oh my god, you wrote that story! It's you."
Did you see Ben Kennedy?
No, I actually did not.
Did you see
I saw
Atlas?
Jaden. Yes.
Nice. How's
Yeah.
he going?
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing great.
Who was the most interesting person you met?
So the only way you know if someone's good is
That's hard. That's hard to.
Did you meet any like giga-billionaires, and were they like how you would expect?
I don't think any giga-billionaires or billionaires. I don't know. Like, I mean, I met lots of cool people. I met Gwern.
Yes.
I met Rune. I met Michael Nielsen.
Yeah.
I met Hanura Yinimi, who's like a sci-fi author, who I like, that you probably haven't heard of.
Yeah.
He's big in like this my series. Met Deep Fates.
Was anyone really different from how you expected them to be from online?
No. I feel like I meet somebody, and I feel like I don't really like picture what people look like online. So when I meet them, I don't have like, oh, I imagine that you would be shorter.
So is there anything you want to shill before you sort of wrap things up?
Read my fiction and read my blog.
Well, I need to read it. I feel like
Yeah.
I need to do another interview with you after I've read the fiction now. What should people go and read right off the bat? What's your best blog post?
speak
And
to
your
the
best-
camera.
Probably notes on managing ADHD.
Yeah. Any short summary to hook people in?
It's about an aphasic space station that monitors an anomalous object while keeping the last two living humans alive.
What does aphasic mean?
Aphasic means having aphasia, like unable to speak.
Unable to speak.
Yeah.
So the space station is unable to speak?
It's like an uploaded mind that's been like made into the control system of a
okay.
space station,
Oh, interesting.
but have its language center like removed.
Ah, okay. Hectic. Well, I think that's probably pretty good.